What is up, ladies and gentlemen? But most of all, you ladies out there, thanks for clicking on another episode of Break the Silence. I'm your host, Cyborg. And much like Jayson Tatum, I didn't want to show up tonight. I don't want to be here. I don't know why I'm here. But let's get into it anyway. We just got done watching Game 6 of the NBA Finals between the Boston Celtics, my Boston Celtics, and the Golden State Warriors. A game in which the Golden State Warriors won the NBA Finals, their fourth under Coach Steph Curry, their fourth with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond on the floor, making them truly one of the greatest dynasties of all time. We got so much to get into tonight, but let's start with a little housekeeping. We have more eyes on us from these reactions than we had in all our other videos, and we're continuing to grow, and we want to keep heading in that direction. So please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel, because all off season, you're going to be wondering, where do I get my sports? Sports are off. What do I do? Right here on the Break the Silence with Cyborg show, we are talking sports all off season. And we're not just going to talk about the Lakers every day. We're not just going to talk about LeBron and Russell Westbrook every day. We're going to talk about topics that are interesting, topics that are different, topics that need to be addressed. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear in the comments section. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear some debates. And I'll chime back at you. And if you see in my last couple videos, I bark back right at people all the time because I love the sports talk. But let's get into it. In life, I believe it's important that we have a set of beliefs. For me, I have 4 core beliefs. 1, I believe Scarlett Johansson married the wrong man. I believe that she was meant to be with me. Number 2, I believe the novels of J.K. Rowling are something I will never read. Number 3, I believe I can fly. Number 4, I believe in the basketball gods. And I believe that those basketball gods punish you for playing basketball the wrong way and cheating the game of basketball. And you might say, Cyborg, what do you mean by that? Well, let me tell you what I mean. And when LeBron James joined the Miami Heat and created this super team, the basketball gods punished him with that final series against the Dallas Mavericks with one of the worst performances we've seen from a superstar. When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors, the basketball gods punished the Warriors by having Klay and KD get major injuries and big time beef between Draymond and KD during that season. The basketball gods will get you. You're not sure when, but they will get you. And I am highly superstitious when it comes to sports. This chain you see here does not work for the Celtics. When I wear it during Celtics games, we always lose. When I wear it during Browns games, it's a W about 47% of the time, which for the Browns is very positive. But tonight, the Boston Celtics had 23 turnovers, and this is the theme we've seen over and over and over again, and it's why I couldn't buy into the Boston Celtics this year to the point where I didn't believe they could win the NBA championship, because at some point, those mistakes in playing bad basketball will come back to bite you. And tonight, in last game, and the game before that, they finally did. The Celtics in all 3 of those games had hit their 16 turnover mark. When they have 16 or more turnover, in Game 4 they had 16, in Game 5 they had 18, and tonight they had 23 turnovers. We saw all offseason, not all postseason, that when the Celtics turn the ball over at a high clip, they lose basketball games. But when they take care of the basketball, they're virtually unbeatable. And my belief is that you can't continue to tempt fate this many times with throwing away games in a series against the Golden State Warriors. You can against the Bucks with a hurt Chris Middleton. You can against an average Heat team with a couple guys banged up and injured. You can't against the healthy Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. I would like to get into Steph Curry because I think this is the true story that we'll leave the finals talking about, is that Steph Curry finally got his finals MVP and, to me, cemented himself on the top 10 basketball players of all time. And I will do a video with my official rankings of the top 10 all time at some point in the future, just so you can see where he ranks in that top 10. But he finally made it. I wasn't sure that he would be there before tonight, and I have officially decided that he's made the list. We needed Steph to have a finals that was truly great. I talked about this in one of my other videos, that Steph had final series where he was good, but not great. This series, he was truly great, and you truly saw the impact of Steph Curry on the game of basketball and on winning basketball. Because no one else in this series was truly, truly great for the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins had a nice series. Clay wasn't great. Draymond definitely wasn't great. Jordan Poole hit a couple half-court shots, but other than that, didn't really do much. This series was all about Steph Curry, and he fully delivered. He gave you everything you could want if you're a Warriors fan. He provided the entertainment you want if you're an NBA fan. And the Warriors truly deserve to win the NBA Finals. And to me, this cements Steph over KD as far as legacy talk. But let's flip it to the other side of the basketball and talk about a couple guys on the Celtics and where I'd like to see the Celtics go from here. Jayson Tatum tonight in the second half gave you 2 points and 5 turnovers. We've been waiting all series, and you constantly hear people talk on social media. Tatum's going to have that game. He's going to have that 40-point game. I've said this over and over. I would bet everything I have that it comes out that Jayson Tatum is getting shoulder surgery. And that's partly an excuse they'll use. But also, he hurt his shoulder against the early part of the series against the Heat and had not had a great game since. Jaylen Brown needs to spend this entire offseason dribbling the basketball. He needs to go do all those stupid little drills that we all did as kids where you put the basketball around your head over and over, you put it around your waist over and over, and you just get used to feeling the basketball in your hands, because he's a disaster at dribbling the basketball. And then the Celtics need to trade or find a way to pick up a ball handler. It doesn't have to be anyone great, but a person that can initiate the offense without turning it over to high clip and get the guys in their spots to where Jaylen Brown isn't required to dribble the ball so much. You can give him the ball. He can do his 2 dribbles, get into a shot. He can do his 2 dribbles, get into the paint, and get a good look. So that's where the Celtics go from here. Something else I'd like to address. I have been on Draymond's butt this entire final series because he had been terrible. He had an excellent game tonight. And the one thing that I'll always give Draymond, and I said it a couple years ago, is that I truly respect his sportsmanship. When they lost the finals to LeBron and the Cavs, Draymond was seen on the court in a massive pile of media and Cavs players in celebration, making sure that he shook everyone's hands. Tonight, as soon as they won the finals, you saw all the Warriors guys off celebrating. Draymond was out shaking hands with Celtics players, telling them that they'd be back. He was with Grant Williams, who he beefed with all series. Jayson Tatum, telling all these guys, hey, you'll be back at this point. And I truly do respect that from Draymond. Someone who can talk trash and be humble in victory and humble in defeat. I don't know that he always warrants the trash talk that he gives you during the game, but that's a discussion for another day. This was truly one of the better NBA seasons I can remember. And the reason being is that we finally had a year where you came into the postseason and you weren't sure who was going to be in the finals and you weren't sure who was going to win the finals. And that's an awesome thing to have because we hadn't had a lot of parity in the NBA for quite a while. Because when KD was with the Warriors, you knew he was going to be in the finals. And then you just knew whatever team LeBron was on was going to be in the finals. So it was very refreshing to have that that parity in this series. Now, I talked a lot previously, and I'll post the clip here. Thank you. Tonight, I am declaring my Boston Celtics officially dead. I thought this series was over after Game 4. And then I declared the Celtics dead after Game 5. And I think they played like they're dead tonight. Unfortunately, I think if the Celtics would have pulled out Game 4 when Steph had 43 and 10, then I think they would have won this series. That was the difference between winning and losing, was a 10-point game in which Steph played spectacular. And that's why Steph Curry deserves every accolade that's coming to him. Every bit of praise that's coming to him is because that was the game in the series. He went into Boston in Game 4 and gave you 43 and 10. That's an all-time performance. Tonight he was great, 34, 7, and 7. Game 5 he struggled. But Game 4, when they needed him most and they were down 2-1 in Boston, he came out and performed at his highest level. And that truly was the turning point in this series. And that's truly why the Golden State Warriors won the NBA Finals. Congrats to all you Warriors fans out there. I'm not going to be sleeping for a while. I'm hurting. My heart hurts. It's 100 degrees here where I am right now. I don't see myself sleeping this entire off season until next season starts. But, like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be back on the grind, getting in more content, having more discussions. I have so many ideas for some things we're going to talk about this summer, and I'm really looking forward to it. So please join the squad. Thank you. Cyborg out.